Sup guys, Grubby Germ here with my Kassadin jungle build. So as you can see, I'm starting with the standard cloth armor and 5 health pots that most non-lifesteal utilizing champions take. I start at Wraiths, and I move down from Wraiths to red to double golems, back up to Wraiths, across to wolves, up to blue, and at that point I am at level 4. For runes I take armor seals, health quints, ability power glyphs, and attack damage marks. For Masteries, I go 15, 14, and 1, taking the Summoner ability upgrades for Flash and Smite. I focus on armor and health for my defensive tree, and for my offensive tree, I take increased damage to minions and monsters, and increased attack speed, and armor and magic penetration. You may be thinking, why start an AP character at Wraiths and work down instead of starting at blue? Well, with Kassadin's W, which is the spell I choose to start with, auto attacks grant mana on a hit. Therefore, my mana needs are significantly reduced, and in fact, because I'm only using one spell that has a fairly high cooldown at this point, I don't need the mana regeneration buff from blue, which opens up starting Jungle Kassadin at numerous locations throughout the map. I can start at blue, I can start at wolves, I can start at wraiths, I can start at double golems, which opens up a wide variety of ganking and counter jungling and counter jungling possibilities. Some of the advantages of starting at red are that I can gank early on. So of course, if you have the opportunity, always get a leash from your team. It makes the jungling a lot faster, saves you some health pots as well. Oftentimes the difference between a good jungler and a bad jungler is how frequently they gank and how successful their ganks are. If you're a jungler who doesn't gank, you're going to lose the game for your team because they're playing 4v5 against the opponents, while you run amok in the jungle, killing creeps and not worrying about anything else. So after I take blue, I am at level 4. At this point in the game, I can either gank or I can continue jungling. You can go down to Wraiths, take Wraiths, and go back up to Wolves, which will have spawned by the time you have finished. Or you can head down to double golems, which is what I do. Take double golems, head back to base, buy some items, and keep jungling and win the game for your team. So let's talk about Karthus as a jungler. Karthus is typically played AP, however, if you're playing him as a jungle character, you have to drop the AP and focus on AD in order to have any hopes of making Jungle Kassadin practical or efficient in any way. What this does is eliminate his abilities as damaging spells. Their base damage is fairly decent for spells in general, but the majority of your damage is going to be produced using attack damage items. Therefore, his spells become strictly utility, and as utility they're pretty decent. You have a silence, a slow, and a teleport that allows Karthus to get around the map and to utilize his assassin ability. Is Jungle Karthus a legitimate build? From my experience, it's not a very legitimate way to play Karthus. He's much better mid-AP. He counters a lot of mid-AP characters, but if you're looking to mix things up and have a little fun with a character that's an unusual jungle, Jungle Karthus is an interesting and enjoyable champion to jungle. Just don't play him in ranked. So thank you for watching my Karthus jungle video guide. Please subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. And be sure to check out my channel and my other videos and the more video links provided. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and if you have any comments or suggestions on this build, please be sure to put them in the comment section below.